Systems armed. Three screens green. AZ Stevens. Cleared for launch. Hands tied, lights flash, red to green. Every breath is gasoline. Code and chaos, pixels and pain. One mistake and you're out of the game. Screens glow bright, heat in my face. Digital track, physical race. Robin's voice cutting through the crowd. Send it, baby, we're running proud. No reset, no second chance. Heartbeat syncs with the engines, dancing the noise. I find my calm, adrenaline's my song. Full send nation, burn the line. Every lap we redefine. No fear, no hesitation. Stevens Motorsport domination. Full send nation, rise again. Full send nation, rise again. 40 cars deep, daylight fades. We ride the storm that the engine made. No walls hold when the dream's in gear. You don't drive fast, you disappear. Set up sheet tape to the dash. Tuned by code and a flash of cash. Sweat drips down, white knuckles burn. This ain't practice, it's my turn. Grip the wheel, feel the grind. Chasing ghosts through the online mind. Every lap a brand new war. I ain't lifting anymore. Full send nation, red line ride. Fuel on fire, hearts collide. Triple screen thunder breaking the chain. We don't quit, we live insane. In gears we trust. In rubber we pray. For every wreck, another day. You better hold that line, AJ. Full send, full send. Full send, full send. Full send nation, flag held high. Daytona dreams will never die. Stevens Motorsports built to win. Light that fuse and send it again. Full send nation, crank that sound. Engine scream, the world spins round. From the grid to the finish flame, we own the night. Remember the name. Yeah. Stevens Motorsports. Full send forever. Engines live, telemetry synced. Stevens Motorsports, lock it in. Fuel in my veins, fire in my chest. Every heartbeat's louder than the rest. The rig's alive, the lights go green. This is more than a race, it's a dream machine.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with another round of the NASCAR Throwback Series. Tonight, it's the All-Star race. We've got 9 drivers in session, so it should be still a pretty good race. Just want to avert your eyes to the poll that we have up on screen or in the chat. You have until lap 50 to vote, but that is for our inversion of the field. So make sure that you go over there, throw a vote in, and then once we hit lap 50, we will go ahead and announce to the drivers at lap 100 when they're going to invert. So it'll be a halfway inversion. We are at Nashville Fairgrounds tonight, which is something a little different for these cars and these drivers. So we've taken the liberty of making the setup a little bit more racy. Here the setup seems to be more inherently tight. It's a little bit tougher. So we kind of even the playing field so that way these guys aren't burning the right front tires off the cars. And I think it's going to make for a fun night. So, but we got Parker Weekly back. He's in for the, oh, Josh Brock just losing it on entry. Overdrove the corner there a little bit. One thing that we've noticed, at least with this track, is the amount of bumps in the bottom of the corner really upset this car. So you're going to have to be smooth, as Savoy just loses it on entry. But you're going to have to be smooth on the throttle. You're going to have to be smooth in. And I think that's going to make the difference tonight as we see guys start to put in some qualifying times. But we'll get some race info up really quick just so we've got it. We got 200 laps tonight, 2 sets of tires, 73 degrees in the air, 75 on the track temp, so it's going to make it really interesting. And the speed of time is 3x, so that's also going to change a few things. This set was a little bit loose in the daytime, and I think if these guys hit the corners correctly, it'll be a little bit less of an issue. But man, I tell you what, 1 and 2 are just rough. So what's going on, Nate? I see we got Dan in the chat. We got a mixed, 50% on the whole field. That's interesting. We'll have to see if that changes at all. As we got a few more laps to go before a few more minutes to go before we get ready to go green. Some of these guys just getting in some last minute practice laps. Savoy and Crownover usually get in a little bit late, so I'm not surprised they're still spinning laps out there. But we will be off for this series for the next 2 Wednesdays. We got Christmas Eve and then we got New Year's Eve that we'll be off for. So let these guys spend some time with their families instead of their sim rigs. Holy shit, Nate, you've been a member for 19 months. Oh, that's funny. I'm going to start using the member role a little bit more in 2026, I think. Got some ideas with some videos and stuff, so. Oh, God, Keith's here. I think we should be getting ready to be ready to go green here in a minute. But no, this is one of those tracks that I actually really enjoy. I've driven an 87 here quite a bit, and it's a lot of fun. You know, it usually is probably one of the more fun short tracks for that car, and for good reason. I mean, it's got a lot of history. You know, obviously that car raced here. These ARCA cars did not. I don't even know if anything's ran there in the last 10 years. So, it'd be interesting to see how this car develops. The other thing that we have to take into consideration, something we kind of talked about last night, if you watched that broadcast, is the way that rubber is created now on these oval tracks. These guys are going to be searching for some grip out there. You're not going to be able to necessarily run the bottom lane all the time anymore. If you do, chances are high there's going to be rubber buildup. The bottom lane's going to get hot, and then you're going to wreck. So, we've got all of that to contend with. So there's just a lot of different things to deal with here with this car tonight. Quick grid, we got Jesse Bennell bringing in the pole, followed by Andrew Phipps. Anthony Cronover is going to start third. Parker Weekly starts fourth. Kevin Savoy is fifth. Josh Brock sixth. Anthony McPherson is going to start seventh. Diesel Weasel is eighth. And Fatherball is going to start ninth. Hopefully for these guys, it goes a little bit better than the way that my 87s week has gone at Daytona. That has been just nothing but abysmal for a multitude of reasons. But with 9 drivers, who's everybody got for a pick out there? Let's hear the options of picks for some of these drivers for tonight. All right, there we go. Now we're getting the right font styles in for a lot of these guys. We should be just about ready to go. Everybody should be gridded up. Change the camera angle a little bit. See, yeah, everybody's gridded up, so I don't know what we're waiting on. Actually, I might have lied. I think we might be waiting on Kevin Savoy. I like it, Dan. All right. So we should do, I believe, about 2 pace laps around here, and then we'll get ready to go green, just so the field has time to stack itself. I'll be interested to see how the 88 and the 48 battle it out tonight. They were kind of trading fast laps in practice, so it should be pretty interesting. The big thing with Nashville Fairgrounds is you just need to be consistent. You don't necessarily have to be the fastest out of the corner. You just got to make sure you make it through the corner. So we'll see how it rolls out here. I figure 200 laps around this place. We should see these guys finish up pretty quickly as long as we're not seeing a boatload of cautions. So might be a quick race for these guys tonight. I don't know, but don't forget, if you're just jumping in to join the stream, go vote in the poll. You've got until lap 50 to vote on how we invert the field for the All-Star race, and we're off, and Phipps is out to the lead early. Ooh, they make a little bit of contact in the corner, it looked like there. But we roll out of turn number 1 just fine. Everybody running good so far. I almost think we should have switched up the car on them too. Really make things interesting. Could have went late model stocks with these guys and seen what they do. But it's Phipps and Bennell out front right now. We got a hefty battle brewing back here by Josh Brock. Anthony Crownover starts to fade back. We've got Brock, and it looks like Savoy's going to try to make it up and around the outside. And like I said at the top of the show, you're not going to see a lot of tire fall off here because we loosened that car up a little bit. This thing's notorious for shoving for the wall, and we've kind of taken that out. which I think it's going to make for some better overall racing. So we'll see how that goes as we go through the night. How's our blimp look here? Not very good. I got to come up with some new cameras. I've been trying to get some whiplash cameras for this stuff, and unfortunately haven't really heard from him. As Parker Weekly looked like he was a little off the pace there. Not sure if he got loose in the bumps. There's some really big bumps in the bottom of turn number 2 on the exit. And it really makes things kind of interesting as you see Parker kind of, it kind of herky jerkies over him. We'll see if these guys can clear Parker, or what's exactly going to happen here as we come off of turn number 4 for lap number 7. Oh, and Parker just blinked. So Josh Brock we go. We'll have to see where Parker comes in at. He came in behind them guys. I don't know if he got damaged. No, it looks like he just slowed off to make sure that damage didn't occur to anybody, but it's all Andrew Phipps out in front for the time being. You got about 10 more laps to be able to vote as we see a battle here with Savoy and Josh Brock down the front stretch. Savoy goes around the outside. Crownover looks like he's going to try to take Josh Brock to the inside. It's a drag race down the back stretch as Crownover runs up the inside. Can he get the drive off? Nope. Josh Brock's going to have the run. Anthony McPherson right with him as well. Crownover clears him. We'll go back to the battle up front. Benell all over the back of Phipps, just waiting for a mistake that has not come yet. Let's go TV mixed and see what this does. Some of these tracks got some really cool cameras, so we'll kind of keep an eye on that. Oh, Fatherball moving up in the world a little bit. He's around Diesel Weasel. They're a drag race down the front stretch. Mike's going to have him up the inside. Looks like Josh Brock is under fire from Anthony McPherson. On board with Josh Brock at the moment. You can see just how much banking there is. And I think some of these guys still trying to kind of sort out, okay, how's this car going to run? How's it going to feel long term as that fuel starts to get light? Reminder, they are only on 50% fuel, so that will change some things too. And do you come in for fuel and save a set of tires so that we got 2 sets post the comp caution at 100? I don't know. I guess it all depends on how it runs. If it's driving fine, to me, I say throw some tires on it, or throw some fuel in it, and let's go. As Phipps is starting to put a little bit of a gap on Jesse Benell. I don't think Benell's really pushing. I think he's trying to kind of just manage right now. You know, let Phipps go out there and push it, and you just try to manage. Looks like Parker got around Fatherball. Fatherball actually looks like he slipped up or something in one of the corners, so Mike gonna have to dig back through the field. Now we are doing another thing that's a little different for the All-Star race. If there is a lucky dog, if there's more, well, if there's somebody further behind the lucky dog, there'll actually be a twofer on the lucky dogs. So if you're 8th place in a lap down and 9th place a lap down as well, we're gonna go ahead and give them a lucky dog as well to get them back on the lead lap and make things a bit more interesting here. 18 laps in, or I'm sorry, 19 laps in. You've got about 6 more laps, or I'm sorry, not 6. We're gonna go to lap 50 on the voting. So you've almost got about a little over 25 laps left to be able to vote for how we're gonna invert that field. So make sure you get that vote in before we get to lap number 50, as these guys are just clean clicking off laps right now. Josh Brock has McPherson all over the back of him. Max starting to look to the inside, but just hasn't done it yet. Something that I'm kind of keeping an eye on is this guy right here. We're starting to see him get closer and closer to Phipps and Bedell. And Kevin Savoy is a master of tire saving. Got a battle between Parker and Diesel Weasel currently. Parker trying to use that apron a little bit to get the car to turn. Diesel running that high lane. So Diesel carrying more speed, but Parker, I think, saving a little bit more tire as he tries to wrap that bottom. And he's trying to get it done. You see him just there to the left of Diesel. He's going to clear Diesel, and away he goes as Diesel gets really loose. We'll come back to Kevin Savoy. He's 1.8 back from these guys right now. And given enough time, I think he can get to them. You know, I think if he could save the tire the way that I'm guessing he probably is, I think he can get to these guys. Probably not have to take a set of tires when it's time to pit. Maybe save that set for the comp caution at lap 100. I think that he might be able to use it to his advantage later in the race and maybe force these guys to take tires earlier on. So Fatherball looks like he's fallen off a little bit here. Looks like he's going to start to come under the clutches of Andrew Phipps as Fatherball dives it off into the corner. So we got Phipps and Bedell not far behind him. And you can see Savoy's down to 1.3 almost. He's clicking right along about that 1.4. But like I said, I'm sure he's probably kind of just running the line that he needs to be able to get back to these guys. Ooh, looks like Josh Brock's got a little bit of left front damage. He's cleared... McPherson's cleared Brock, so I'm not sure where Josh got the right or left front damage from, but you see there's a little bit of a gap there in that fender. So he's going to have Parker up his inside here any second. I see him right here. Yep, and Parker's going to go around the bottom side of him. I think Parker's using the humps in the corner to his advantage to get the car to rotate. Back to the front. Savoy down to one second almost on these guys. And you can hear he's not really pushing it into the corner. I'm going to be interested to see, you know, kind of where the tires are at here shortly, as we're through 33 laps. And he's got him under a second. So that Dogecoin car, it's on the move. It hasn't had the greatest season, but maybe this is where things really start to turn around for Kevin Savoy. I know this car's been a struggle for a lot of the guys to try to sort out, really. It looks like Josh Brock just got passed by Diesel Weasel, so I don't know if Josh is struggling with some damage, that there's more to it than that left front sheet metal, but Josh Brock is definitely starting to struggle as you see the leaders starting to catch him. So Phipps trying to turn up the heat a little bit and run away from Kevin Savoy. Let's actually check, pull up last lap times. Phipps with a 19.0, Savoy with an 18.9. So Savoy's your fastest man on track so far, as Phipps is going to get held up by Josh Brock. He's going to go to the low side of Brock. All the leaders going to the low side. They're going to clear them pretty convincingly. We saw Savoy go to the bottom as well there in turn 3 and 4. So not a lot of breathing room for Andrew Phipps, as you could throw the top 4 under a blanket right now. Phipps still out front. Kevin Savoy trying to go after Jesse Bennell. They've got a little bit of a gap over Crown over at this point, so nothing super crazy right at the moment. Ooh. Fatherball definitely fighting some right front damage, I think. We see Phipps, Bennell, and Savoy. Phipps has opened it up over Bennell, but Savoy's still holding about 1 second. As we see, Phipps is starting to come up on Fatherball and Parker Weekly. Oh, JB, hang on to her. He did. I think he's just getting into her a little too early. Fatherball's gonna head to pit road. "44 laps in. If you don't have your vote in, you got 6 laps to do it. We're going to invert the field. Whoever's lead lap by the time we get to lap 100, we're going to invert it. If it's the whole field, it'll be all of the lead lap cars will invert. If there's more than that, then obviously we'll, if it's the whole field, we'll do the whole field. But right now, it's looking like possibly just the top 8, so that would leave Fatherball with a lap down. But well, Dan, we're going to shut the voting off here at lap 50. Because then that way we can let these guys know once we get to lap 100 what we're inverting. So got Josh Brock down pit road already. Oh, Kevin Savoy's caught Jesse Bennell, and they're side by side off of turn number 2 down the backstretch. Savoy gonna have the inside as he saved enough tire. No, I messed up, Dan. I messed up. Jesse Bennell able to fight off Savoy for the time being. So Savoy going to have to go back to work and figure out where he can catch Jesse and where he's going to be able to put that move on him at. Oh, Savoy gets wicked loose, trying to get that drive off the corner. And it looks like McPherson and Parker Weekly are in a battle for their lives right now. All right. Well, the poll is over. And it looks like you guys decided we're going to do the whole field. So out of the guys that are lead lap, we'll invert the whole field. The only reason we're not going to do lap cars at that point is so that way we don't wind up with some damaged cars out in front and causing an issue, which, you know, is probably for the better. So we will invert the whole field. We will let those guys know once we hit lap 100. They're not going to pit. They're going to go ahead and invert the field, and then we'll get it back going. So what's up, Monty? Dan, at least I didn't pick anybody. I give people the commentator's curse all the dang time. Phipps out and around the lap car of Parker Weekly. Go back here. I'm going to watch this fight with Jesse Bennell and Kevin Savoy here. Savoy just trying to find any way around him. Bennell's holding his own, no. Ooh, we saw Anthony Crownover get the wall out of 4. Parker trying to get a drive off. Savoy trying to get a drive off. And I think now we're starting to see the rubber come into play. I think that low line is starting to get tore up. You can see the dark groove in the bottom. So I'm wondering if these guys are going to have to start moving around trying to find a little bit of grip. And I think Jesse Bennell's got a pretty good arc through the corner. Yeah, you can see he's running a little bit higher. And then a late apex out. And I think that might be the key here. Just because I think the bottom's starting to load up. Which is going to get hot. You know, that rubber is going to get squirrely. So if you got to move a half a lane up, you move a half a lane up, right? So right now, the top 4 are on the lead lap with the double lucky dog. 6th and 7th will be able to get back on the lead lap. Bennell still holding his own. Parker Weekly actually kind of coming into his speed a little bit, I see. He's hanging right there with Phipps. Sounds like Anthony McPherson's going to head to pit road. Oh, no! That's going to be his race because that popped that motor on entrance. This is a very, very tight pit entrance. 88's going to come to pit road. It sounds like a lot of people are going to come to pit road here. James, it is the the ARCA car. So right now, Phipps is on pit road. I think everybody's on pit road, actually, at the moment. See if we can get a good look with the blimp. Yeah, there's... Parker Weekly just took over the lead, so he just got his lap back. I'm not sure if he's just saving more fuel, but he's able to actually come all the way around. So Parker Weekly is still on the lead lap and your leader, and he's up 12 seconds over Phipps. Very, very interesting. Oh man, James, that sucks. Parker Weekly is going to head to pit road here in just a moment. Yep, he is headed to pit road. So that's going to relinquish the lead to Andrew Phipps, who has Jesse Bennell all over his backside. Oh, and Bennell gets him. But how long before Phipps gets him back, too? So Jesse Bennell is starting to take off from Andrew Phipps. And these two are teammates with Crown over about 3 seconds back. It's Savoy 5 seconds off of him. I gotta wonder if Savoy didn't save a set of tires. He might be letting these guys just crank it and hope for the best here and save, you know, a set for a possible caution later on. Hard to say. But Bennell and Phipps are absolutely pushing it. I want to put last lap times up on the board. 18.6s to a 19.5. And looks like another 19.5 as well. So these guys have figured something out for sure. Oh, that half lane up, James, is working hardcore. Like I said, with the amount of changes because of track rubber now, it's really changing how racing in the sim is gonna go. So 25 laps to the comp caution. Well, Dan, it's everybody's on a fixed set, but it is an adjusted set from me, yes. Yeah, these guys are just flying. I think Crownover and Savoy may have saved a set of tires, as I saw Parker Weekly just head back down pit road. Oh no, and it looks like he's got some damage on the right front of that car, or left front of the car, I'm sorry. That might, looks like he's gonna try and get that fixed. But at the moment, Bennell and Phipps out in front. They are slowly catching Crownover and Savoy. About 20 laps until the comp caution. Go back to the battle for the lead here. Is it looks like Bennell started to actually pull out. So Jesse Bennell about 0.4 up over Phipps, and now it looks like Phipps has started to try to use the bottom lane again. So I don't know if the bottom lane is starting to cool, but you can see that Phipps is actually diving it in sooner than Bennell is. And then Savoy just got crown over. So now Savoy gonna start to try to push forward. About 14 seconds back. So obviously not wanting to go a lap down here. As he's going to try and run away from Anthony Crownover. Back to Vanell and Phipps, who are literally at the end of the straightaway. Wow. I've got a feeling that Savoy and Crownover saved tires. Looks like they're getting pretty spaced out at this point. So right now, it looks like Diesel Weasel will get your lucky dog recipient, but he's only going to make it to one lap down at that point. So we got about 13 laps left to go to that 100 lap mark. Watch Savoy and Crownover. I want to check lap times. The lap times have actually kind of started to even out. They're still about a half second faster, but you know, I think it's kind of working for them right now, just to try something different, save something to where they can, and be able to really run with these guys post the comp caution. We'll alert these guys of the 10 lap mark. 10 laps, the comp caution, gentlemen. 10 laps. So we've got Vanell and Phipps still just pushing it. But I definitely am starting to see that those times kind of lax off. So as they're about 17 seconds down to these two. Like I said, they've got 9 laps left to make it. It looks like Vanell's going to try and put them a lap down if he can. He's pushing like he's trying to. So if he can try to, that it's just him and Phipps that'll be flip-flopped. And then you'll have the others. Well, I take that back. The other two would actually wind up lead lap anyway, so you're going to flip-flop those regardless. As Vanell has really dropped Phipps at this point. And he's going to put Diesel another lap down, so Diesel's going to get a lucky dog for just 1 lap to get to 2 laps down. Yeah, Vanell is absolutely pushing it. He's got about 2 more circuits around here if he's going to try to pull this off. He might pull it off. He's right there with him. One more lap for Jesse to try to put him a lap down. He's inside a crown over. Why did it not? God dang it. Did it give the... It should have... Yeah. All right, gentlemen. So here's the deal. We've got 4 on the lead lap. We're going to invert all 4. So... crown over, once you get around, you'll be at the front. Then Savoy to the outside, followed by Phipps on the inside behind crown over. And Jesse, you're outside of that second row. And then everybody else will fall in. Correct. That is the plan. All right, so we've got these guys getting relined up. Yeah, so once we go 2 to go, gentlemen, you know, slide to your respective spots based on this, and then I will clear the black flags when we go green. All right, well, it's going to shake things up. They can't pit here, so this is going to change just a few things. Yes, I have them in the correct lineup, so they should be good. So like I said, when we go 2 to go, Kevin, you'll be the outside of crown over. Jesse, you'll be the outside of Phipps. And then Diesel, you'll be inside behind Phipps. Alrighty. And I'm going to shut off this so it doesn't interfere with anything. All right, lights on the pace car are out, so we will be going green this next time by. The field's been inverted. Diesel's a lap or 2 laps down, so he's inside. So we'll get ready to go here in just 1 second. We'll have this up for just a minute so I can clear the black flags for these boys as the pace car is off. All right, we're green flag racing. We're gonna have to see where these tires are gonna play out for these guys. They were a ways down. They are on older tires as crown overs to the inside. Did the cooling help? We won't know right away, right? But we were starting to see those lap times fall off. So I think crown over and Savoy have tires in the bag. You know, we are gonna see a pit stop. Probably, God, I would think in the next 10 to 15, quite honestly, as Savoy heads to the lead from the outside at the moment, and he holds up Phipps. I think the fact that they're holding those guys up right now is probably a good thing, as they're on older tires. It's going to force them to slow down. I think once Kevin gets on some freshies, I don't know. This really changes things up here. But it's an all-star race, right? Like you got to expect things are going to get changed up here. I'm kind of curious to see what last lap times look like. And they are quicker than before. You know, we're running the 18s instead of the 19s. So did Benell burn his stuff up trying to lap these guys? I think there might be something to that. We'll have to see. Woo! As Phipps gets a little loose off the corner. I don't know. This is shaking things up big time, though. I kind of got to wonder if Kevin wasn't holding back a little bit with Crown over during that long run, knowing full well that he wasn't going to be able to pit for tires. But like I said, I would expect to see, pit stops here in a little bit. Let's check and see. Kevin Savoy pitted on lap 64. Phipps was lap 65. So yeah, I would think here, man, probably about that 130 mark. But I gotta wonder what happened to Kevin Savoy. He was a 3-second faster pit stop time than everybody. So that's really weird. I want to see crown overs. Yeah, Kevin Savoy had a very slow pit stop, so I'm not real sure what that was about early on. But at this point we've shaken everything up. We've got just over 75 laps to go, and these guys are all running really close. I kind of got to wonder now too if Crownover didn't decide to kind of hang back a little bit and save some tire compared to the other two. I'm gonna get the gap up, because now we're starting to see Savoy and Phipps run away from Crownover and Benell. So I don't know. It's very, very intriguing, to say the least. And Diesel's quite a bit off the pace, so I'm kind of wondering if just tire management isn't playing into game or playing into factor here. And Crownover is up to 0.5 over Phipps right now. And outside of the competition caution, this has been one green flag race for sure. I gotta imagine you're gonna want to pit earlier rather than later, because I think you're gonna have to pit at least one more time. Let me just do the math on that. They can stretch it to 135. They can pit. You won't have to pit by the end of it. So we'll have to see. Man, Savoy has pulled out 1.2 over Phipps. Like, my God, he is taking the Hendrick team to task right now. I'm pretty sure he was sleeping on them boys. up 1.3 over Phipps, Crown over Benell. Benell just biding his time. Absolutely, James. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate the support. And Phipps starting to get a little bit of a gap over Crown over, as Kevin Savoy is going to close in on Diesel Weasel. Ooh, Savoy getting a little loose off of turn number 4 there. But he keeps everything just clean and a-rolling. How we doing, Adam? Savoy clears Diesel with ease. Up 1.6. Go back here to Phipps. He's got Crown over right behind him. Let's see if Phipps can clear Diesel quickly here. He's going to head to the inside. Diesel going to give him the inside without issue. And so just like that, Savoy's up almost 2 seconds. Let's check last lap times. Kevin's running 18.9s. Everybody else running like 19.1 to 19.3. So, like I said, I've got to imagine here pretty shortly we should start seeing pit stops happen. So, like I said, if we can make 135, then we're good to go to the end. And with only 5 cars on track at this point, I've got to imagine that we should be able to finish this green flag wise, and it'll be interesting to see where everything shakes out. Kevin just putting on a clinic of saving tires tonight. I think now he's trying to stretch the fuel a little bit. Oh, Kevin Savoy just called out. He's headed to pit road. And that's right on par. He should be able to make it no problem. Woo, that was close. Kevin Savoy had already headed to pit road. Or not Kevin Savoy. Jesse Benell had already headed to pit road. So we should see the 48 come in this time. 5 is also called out that he is pitting as well. Oh! And they wrecked into each other heading into pit lane. So that was interesting. Savoy is out and away. Jesse Benell not far behind him. Diesel going to come to pit road this time. Man, Kevin came out 3.9 up on them guys. So Jesse is already, his tires should be up to temp, so he'll have to try to really go after them. They're going to need, I think, a little bit of luck, but Kevin can now manage his tires and he doesn't have to push it. He might be able to let these guys kind of come to him. We'll check last lap times here as these guys get ready to check in. Benell running second there. 0.2 faster. I've got to wonder if part of that isn't just Savoy trying to manage the tires. Not really let them get close. Diesel out of pit road. Check the gap. 3.4. So again, I just think that Savoy's going to try and manage it. Maybe he'll let him close into about 1.5 and kind of go from there. See if Phipps is closed in. Crownover's right there with him. Check last lap times. Crownover and Savoy running about the same lap time. Benell and Phipps really pushing it to try to catch up to Savoy right now. Check on Kevin Savoy, and we'll get our gap. They're about ready to lap Diesel again here very shortly. Diesel just coming out of pits here a little bit ago. He's up 3.1 right now as we're almost to 75 to go. Or I'm sorry, we're almost to 50 to go. My God, math is hard tonight. But I think he's going to make Benell work to get back to him. And I have a sneaking suspicion that as Benell starts to close in, I think we'll see Savoy start to pick the pace up a little bit. So be interesting to see how this finishes out. Savoy's still 2.7 up. And I think, yeah, Savoy is now running faster than Benell and Phipps. I gotta wonder if, and we're gonna see here in just a second. Yeah, Savoy is now running faster than second and third place. So I gotta wonder if these guys haven't really turned it up too much, trying to get back to Savoy instead of kind of playing that long game. As I think we just saw Phipps get a little loose there off of turn number 2. Or I'm sorry, that was turn number 4. But Kevin Savoy running 18.7s. Phipps has gotten down into the 18.7 mark already. And then Savoy kind of lets the tire cool. So, kind of a rubber band match at the moment. Still a lot of time if these guys can save the tire to pull it off. 2.8 to Kevin Savoy. But the battle right here for second. Phipps is looking to try to get there and get around him. I'm just waiting to see where Phipps tries to go out and around him here, because he is just hounding him. I'm gonna check lap times again. Uh-oh, Diesel's crashed. He's rolling again. So what almost was a caution is not a caution. Diesel is headed to pit road. I believe he probably needs tires at this point after a nice spin there. And then there were four. So Savoy still controls the lead, up 3.5 over these other three. The question is, do they have anything for him? As we take a look, Andrew Phipps has gotten around Jesse Bennell. Let's see if he can't set his sights on Kevin Savoy. Savoy with an 18.9 there. Phipps 19.0. So Savoy's still faster. It just amazes me how much he can balance tire. And you know what? Let's do this. Let's go off the roll bar of Kevin's car for a lap or two here. You can kind of hear what he's doing. Very smooth on the pedal. Very smooth off. And not really even coming all the way off. I mean, just absolutely textbook on how to save the tires. And I think that's where a lot of guys struggle is they want to lift off 100%. And if you lift off 100%, it causes the car to just get all sorts of loose, which makes for no fun, quite honestly. But Kevin Savoy just putting on a clinic right now. Still faster out in front. The gap stabilized at about 3.8 right now. Back to Andrew Phipps, who's running second. He's got Jesse Bennell right behind him. .7 the gap to Kevin Savoy. .30 laps to go. Yeah, Kevin Savoy still pulls away. 3.8. Phipps has left Bennell in the dust. He's up about a full second over Bennell. Then we got Bennell in third, and then Crownover coming in fourth. He's about 8 seconds back. Under 30 to go now. Well, we have a little bit of a gap. I'm going to step away for just a second here, guys. So I will put this on most exciting for a moment, and I will return very shortly. Of course, I walk away after a crash. It looks like Jesse Bennell may have bit the dust. Oh, does he get it locked down in time? It looks like he does. So there's our caution. And Kevin Savoy gonna stay out here. Interesting. So we got Phipps on pit road. Crownover still catching up. So I gotta imagine that Phipps had tires nobody else does. This may change things. So we're going to restart with about 20 to go. Or actually, just a tick over 20. Savoy to the inside, Bennell to the outside. We're green flag racing. And Savoy's going to try to take off like a rocket ship and get away from Phipps about as fast as he can go. Oh, as Phipps pops the wall, he got tight. That may cost him. 20 laps to go. as it's literally an all Chevy field at this point. Savoy at 5.5. Check last lap times. Savoy in the 18.7s. I had to wonder if he wasn't saving, which was a good play. He had a big enough gap. You know, he was going to be able to save. And we see him start to open that gap up over the Hendrick cars. 18 laps to go. And he's up almost a second already. What is this sorcery? Ooh, Kevin gets the wall just a little bit. Doesn't slow him down. He keeps right in the gas. Out to 1.5 as Phipps is looking to get around Jesse Bedell as they go down into 3 and 4. Phipps on the bottom. Bedell to the high side. Can Phipps get it done? They've been side by side for most of a lap. That's just going to let Savoy drive right away from him. Oh, as Bedell clips the wall. Still good. But Savoy is up to 2.2 as these guys battle side by side for second. I mean, the amount of back and forth between these two, my event section on my SDK is just going nuts. The question is, who's going to buckle first? Ooh, and they get tight at the bottom of 1 and 2. The Crownover doesn't know who he wants to back. Does he clear him yet? Nope, but out comes back on the high side. Phipps has the lead going down into 3. He still hasn't cleared him. Man, this is a dogfight. Crownover's going to try and go with him. Phipps finally clears. And just like that, Crownover's around Bedell too. But now, Kevin Savoy is 4 seconds up the track. So the battle rages on for second place still as we get ready to go 8 laps to go. Looks like this battle's kind of calmed down. But Crownover looks like he wants second. He's going to try to get to the inside of Phipps. You got to remember, Phipps was just battling with Bedell, so how much tire does he really got? Crownover to the inside. Trying to get the drive off. Does he have anything in the tank? Back to the inside he dives. It's almost a drag race down the backstretch now. Side by side in 3 and 4. Can Crownover get him? They touch. Still side by side. Crownover just looking for that little bit of drive off to have the inside line as we come back down into 3 and 4 again. Phipps drifts way up. Crownover keeps it down. My God, this is tight racing. Savoy, or not Savoy, Phipps, crowd over. 3 laps to go. And here comes Benell. Trying to make it a 3-wide race. Savoy's 5 seconds or 6 seconds up the track, but that doesn't matter because the battle's right here. 2 laps to go. Crown over clears Phipps. I knew it. Phipps is going to send it back to the bottom. I don't think he's got enough tire. White flags in the air. Crown or Savoy across the line. Crown over to the outside. Still side by side, but your leader's going to head for home. And he's going to cross the line in first place with Kevin Savoy taking the win. Back to the battle for second. Who's it going to be as we come off of turn 4? Savoy, or Crownover just barely clears him, and they all wrecked at the line. What a finish! What a finish! We're going to come back and check this out. We're going to go from the blimp. And this looks like it. I believe this is down in 3 and 4. So we'll play it from here. I mean, he barely clears him. Or actually, this is headed into 3 and 4. So Crownover's got the lead, but Phipps comes back. Crownover's got the better drive off. They touch. It stalls. And it's like dominoes. It's like dominoes. Oh, man, that is wild. I love it. I love it. So Kevin Savoy doing burnouts. Oh, my God, that's awesome. That was a good race at the end. We'll get the results up here. I'll get this off screen. Winner of the All-Star race, Kevin Savoy. Anthony Crownover going to come home second, with Andrew Phipps, Jesse Bedell rounded out your top 4. Diesel with a P5, Parker with P6, McPherson 7th, Josh Brock 8th, Mike McHaley finishes 9th. So shout out to those guys for a hell of a run there. That was absolutely awesome. That I don't even know. That was a wild finish, to say the least. As I see everybody's congregated down below. Let me clear it with these guys first. Hey, instead of doing individual interviews, you guys good if I just jump down the voice chat with you? I figured with you guys being the ones that finished, we just got to do a group talk session. Can we just talk about the ending there between the 3 of you guys? I mean, Kevin was way up the track, but you guys put on a hell of a show.
We were driving for all we were worth, I'll tell you that. We just didn't have much left. Kevin was checked out.
I was gonna say, Andrew, I saw you go under Jesse. And then I'm like, I don't know how much more he's got left of the tires. And then I see Crownover go after you, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna get real good.
I did the same thing, Jesse. I was on the outside, and you can only hang out there so long, and then finally the tires give up. And then I got a crossover and put Anthony up there, and he goes, I can't turn up here.
Yeah, it's a mess.
It was interesting to watch because it looked like, didn't matter who the heck was on the bottom in 1 and 2. You almost had to hit a hard stop to get the car to rotate and drive out. So, it was an interesting run, it looked like.
Yeah, I absolutely melted my tires off. I know all of us did. I was trying as hard as I could, but Kevin was he was able to have a big enough lead that I think he's able to kind of save his stuff a little bit, where the rest of us are just going as hard as we can, and then we paid for it at the end.
Yeah, no, it definitely let Kevin check out. Now, Kevin, I've got to ask you, how much were you saving on that run just in case in that spot after we pitted post the comp caution?
Not that much, actually. I was wanting to keep the gap at 3 seconds. I didn't want it to get any closer. I could see them catching. I'm like, oh, they're getting their hopes up, so I gotta bump it up a bit. And I was just making sure I had just enough fuel to get it to the end, and just keeping the gap at 3 seconds. I didn't want to get any closer, but it wasn't really much saving. What was saving is that low line. Just hooking that low line.
Yep.
It saved the right front a lot.
Yeah,
I saw it in the first stint because I was around like 2 seconds behind and just doing no gains at all, running the low line, and then all of a sudden it started creeping up half a tenth a lap, and just kept building until I got to their bumpers. But trying to pass Jesse, I got loose a few times, and that screwed up my my right rear, so I kind of got stuck in around a second behind AJ. Not AJ, Andrew.
Yep.
And so after that, it was just a pit stop, and that's where I saved. Me and Anthony just laid back and let Jesse and Andrew catch us. Just stay on the lead lap, and yeah.
See, and that was the one thing that I noticed when I tested the fixed setup before I made an adjustment to it. It was so tight. I don't think you'd have had a right front left. Just because of how bad it was in the daytime, and then when it went to the night, it was going to tighten up even more. So it was more try to make it loose than anything, because at least then you got guys that could still turn around the corner.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. We appreciate it. Driving a tight car for 200 laps is terrible.
Well, it was funny. It was funny because Josh Brock was testing it earlier, and he's like, "Man, it's really loose off corner." I said, I took gear out of it, number one, because there was so much gear in it that it would just light the rear end up. And I'm just trying to baby it, get it through the corner. I'm like, man, some of these guys can handle it, but some of these guys, it's gonna get dicey, and then just make the car turn. Because I know that's something that we've all kind of talked about on and off throughout the season, is the car doesn't want to turn like on entry pretty much.
Yeah, these setups are always a little on the snug side, and not always, but most of the time. And then when you take some fuel out of them, they just get way tight.
And I think that's the problem is there was like 20 inches of ballast in this car. So when you mail it down into the corner, you got to slow all that forward ballast down, and then like you said, you take the fuel out, and now the car gets even funkier, and it makes it to where it's not a lot of fun. So,
well, just throw it out there. What were you guys' tire wear after the first stint? Have you checked? Because my right rear was even worse than my right front.
No, I was the opposite. I think I had the worst wear of everybody. I don't remember what exactly. I called it out. I want to say I was like 70s and 85, like cool. Considerably more right front wear.
Okay, yeah, I think I had 82 right front and 75 right rear.
Which is,
I was 77, 80. I was 77, 82. So I couldn't get it
wild.
Right rear at all.
Because I had it pretty much to where it would go right rear. It was really tough to test it because I didn't know when the race was going to start. Obviously, we've got an hour of practice before, but we started in the dark, and most of my testing was that like late afternoon, almost twilight. So it was tough to get it 100% right, and then with the new rubber model on the tracks, it makes it even more interesting.
Yeah, you can't make it too loose for me. I'm the guy of everybody. If it's tight, I'm in trouble. If it's loose, I'm happy.
See, I like it right on that edge of just about too loose. So I can kind of go either way. But if it's tight, it's not a fun time, and I don't enjoy it. So I kind of get what you're saying. But
yeah, I could see the fast guys were able to get it on the right rear better than me, and I knew it. So I was pretty good in the first half of the run. In the second half, I was struggling.
Yeah. It definitely looked like it was interesting. I think a lot of guys missed out tonight for sure. So
it was still fun. It's always great racing with these guys. My end tires was 84, 89. so it wasn't as bad as my first run.
I'd like to tell you what it is, but my rear tires are roasted now.
They're flat.
73. But my red front was 87.
Excellent. So yeah,
Probably
Yeah,
pretty
so much
close
better.
then. So, all right, gentlemen. Well, Kevin, congrats on the win, guys. Hell of a finish on coming out of that last turn. I really wasn't expecting kind of that short track chaos coming off of 4, but it was great. I loved it.
Well, we didn't
Yeah.
wreck each other until after the start finish line, so we did good. About 15 laps of as hard as we could go.
Yep, exactly. So, all right, gentlemen. Well, y'all have a good night, and hopefully we can talk to you guys again next week. Or well, actually, I'm sorry, 2 weeks. At
Yeah, we
least.
get a couple weeks off.
Yeah,
Yes, we do.
Christmas and New Year's. So, have a Merry Christmas, gentlemen, and Happy New Year if I don't talk to you before then.
Sounds
Merry
good. Thank
Christmas.
you
Merry
guys.
Christmas.
Yep.
Happy
Merry
holidays. Enjoy, you guys.
All right.
All right, we'll see y'all soon.
See it.
All right. Well, that's it from our top 3. Like I said, hell of a finish tonight. Thank you everybody that came and watched. We will have Yes Car trucks tomorrow. So be there for that. Other than that, probably Friday night, I will get in the WNIS for Watkins Glen. And then I don't know what we got going this weekend. Who knows? Maybe we'll throw up a fast car or something, do something off the wall. So, but on that note, everybody have a great night. We'll catch you all tomorrow night. And if we don't catch you tomorrow night, we'll for sure catch you on Friday. Have a good one, guys.